Apo. Mga kababayan, on March 11, 2025, former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte was forcibly taken by the Philippine National Police upon his arrival at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport.
Statute. So if the Constitution guarantees that if a person is to be expelled from the Philippine territory by whatever means, a lawful order of the court is required.
There are still a lot of people saying that I'm wrong in there, that you cannot arrest a person with a warrant that as a person has a warrant, yet
Ang tanong ngayon, ano ang gagawin natin para maibalik ang dating Pangulo sa Pilipinas? Kasi nag-iisa ako ngayon dito na gumagawa ng paraan para maibalik ang ating dating Pangulo sa ating bayan.
We'd like to recognize the Vice President, Sara Duterte, please, online. Given the difference in time.
Senator Amy.
Yes, maraming salamat. At kung pwedeng ipaliwanag lamang ng ating Vice Presidente kung bakit sinasabi ninyo na kidnapping or extraordinary rendition ang sinasabi. At gusto rin natin malaman yung tungkol sa warrant. Kayo na lang ang mag-umpisa. Salamat.
Opo, Senator Amy, may I be allowed to read the statement?
Yes, please. Please do so.
Okay, thank you. Opo. Mga kababayan, on March 11, 2025, former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte was forcibly taken by the Philippine National Police upon his arrival at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport. He was brought to Villamor Air Base, a military air base, detained for nearly 12 hours, and then flown out of the country on a private jet to The Hague, all allegedly because of a warrant issued by the International Criminal Court. This was patently an illegal arrest. This constitutes extraordinary rendition. A Filipino citizen, a former president, was taken into custody without a valid warrant issued by a Philippine court, without due process, and without any legal basis under our laws. The Constitution is clear. Section 2, Article 3 of our Constitution explicitly states, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures of whatever nature or for any purpose shall be inviolable, and no search warrant or warrant of arrest shall issue except upon probable cause to be determined personally by the judge after examination under oath or affirmation of the complainant and the witnesses he may produce, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. This means that for an arrest to be lawful, it must be carried out pursuant to a warrant issued by a Filipino judge of a Philippine court. Nasaan po ang warrant of arrest na inisyu ng hukuman ng Pilipinas? Wala. Without a valid warrant from a Philippine court, this was at best a warrantless arrest. Under the rules of court, warrantless arrests are only permitted in 3 instances: in flagrante delicto, hot pursuit, and escaped prisoner. None of these circumstances applied to the case of the former president. So, what was the legal basis of his arrest? The authorities acted solely on an ICC warrant, a document that has no legal effect in the Philippines unless reviewed and validated by a Philippine court. In fact, even assuming without conceding that the government itself wished to recognize and enforce the ICC's warrant, it still violated the Rome Statute itself. Even by ICC standards, the former president should have been brought before a Philippine judge to determine the validity of his arrest before it was handed over to a foreign court. Under Article 59 of the Rome Statute, a state party which has received a request for arrest and surrender shall immediately take steps to arrest the person in question in accordance with its laws and the provisions of Part 9, and shall bring that person before the competent judicial authority in that state. Yan ang sinasabi ko paulit-ulit nung nasa labas ako ng gate ng Villamor Air Base. And why was this not done? If they claim to abide by international law and standards, then why did they conveniently choose to ignore this provision? The fact remains that we are no longer a state party to the Rome Statute. We are no longer a member of the ICC. In fact, in a letter dated December 15, 2023, the President himself wrote to me, with respect to your concerns, legal or otherwise, on the investigation to be conducted by the International Criminal Court into the previous administration's war on drugs, I remain steadfast in my resolve that the jurisdiction of the ICC over the Republic of the Philippines after the effectivity of its withdrawal therefrom is very much in question. To this end, this government will not assist the ICC in any way, shape, or form. So if the government itself has declared non-cooperation with the ICC, why did the PNP violate this very policy and enforce a foreign warrant? Even granting for the sake of argument that we have some duty to cooperate with either the ICC or Interpol, does that duty override the fundamental rights of every Filipino enshrined in our Constitution? What happened on March 11, 2025 is not just about one man. It is about all of us. It is about the country. If a former president can be taken without due process, what stops them from doing the same to any other Filipino? Therefore, we must dare to ask more questions. Under whose authority did the PNP act? Why did they enforce a foreign warrant without the Philippine court order? Why didn't they at least bring PRRD before a judge, as required by the Rome Statute itself? Even more disturbing is the silence of the armed forces of the Philippines. Why did the AFP stand idly by while a former commander-in-chief was taken from a military base under questionable circumstances? How could they allow a foreign tribunal to override on our constitutional guarantees? We have now lost a former president. I pray that we do not lose the country next. Your Honor, Senators Cayetano and Marcos and other senators present, alam naman natin lahat at alam nila na mali ang ginawa nila. Ginawa nila yon just to demolish political opponents. This is all about politics. The administration is using government resources, the ICC, to demolish the opposition. Wala na tayong argument. Mali ang ginawa. Ang tanong ngayon, ano ang gagawin natin para maibalik ang dating Pangulo sa Pilipinas? Kasi nag-iisa ako ngayon dito na gumagawa ng paraan para maibalik ang ating dating Pangulo sa ating bayan. Thank you.
Maraming salamat sa ating Vice Presidente at hindi kayo nag-iisa. Lahat tayo ay naghahanap ng solusyon sa napakakomplikadong pangyayari. Ano sa palagay mo yung nakita ninyong ICC warrant? Kailan ba ipinakita? May sinabi si Counsel o Attorney Medialdea na hindi daw pinakita kay Pangulo Duterte hanggang sa kahuli-hulihan at redacted form pa daw. Tama po ba yun?
Yes, Honorable Senator Marcos, ang nangyari kasi, merong ICC warrant. It was diffused to Interpol. It was given to Philippine authorities. Hindi siya nagkaroon ng red notice. Kaya yung ibang bansa, hindi nila alam o wala silang notice na merong ganong warrant. Ang nangyari, ICC, Interpol binigay sa Philippine authorities. And the Philippine authorities or the Philippine National Police, in-implement nila yung warrant diretso doon sa akusado, hindi nila dinala sa korte natin dyan sa ating bansa.
Tama po. At yan ang pinag-uusapan namin kanina ni Executive Director Alcantara ng Transnational Crime na ang pinadala lamang ay isang diffusion. Ito ang kauna-unahang pagkakataon na ang warrant of arrest was honored by a member state. Samantalang diffusion pa lang to, wala pang compliance review, wala pang ibinibigay sa secretariat ng Interpol, walang task force yung Interpol at walang kaalam-alam yung commissioner ng Interpol. Ang sabi nga ng Interpol, si Presidente Duterte ay hindi wanted ng Interpol. Wanted daw siya ng ICC. Pinadala lang daw sa kanila. As a matter of fact, under Article 97, Section 4 of Interpol's own rules on the processing of data, it is very clear that there are so many requirements before any action can be taken. Kung pwede, ipakita natin ang itsura ng isang diffusion versus isang red notice. Ibang-iba po yun. Ni walang red notice at yung diffusion, parang sabi nga ni VP, parang tinimbre lang sa mga kasama sa Interpol ng mga miyembro. Hindi dinaan sa mismong review. So, nais natin pag-usapan at tanungin kay Executive Director. Tama po ba yun? Diffusion is something not yet verified per the articles on processing data. Tama po ba yun? Kasi yan ang rules ng Interpol, hindi po ba?
Ang diffusion po ay sa Article 97 ng Rules on Processing of Data is a standardized request
Tama.
to arrest, detain, or restrict movement
Right.
of accused. Ito.
Tama, pero hindi pa siya verified, hindi pa siya naimbestiga, at hindi pa nailalagay bilang opisyal. Wala pang task force, wala pang compliance review.
Pero hindi po ibig sabihin noon na wala siyang value.
Pero mismo yung Interpol, sinasabi po sa atin na first time daw na yung member state agad-agad in-acknowledge. Wala pa namang kaalam-alam. Ang mismong Interpol Secretariat, walang kamuang-muang kasi between states lang to, ICC lang at Interpol.
Whether it is a red notice or wanted person diffusion, obligado po tayong mag-comply. Hence, our job in the NCB is to distribute the diffusion notice.
Nandyan, pinapakita natin yung red notice sample versus yung diffusion order. Ibang-iba po, di ba, yung itsura?
Magkaiba po.
Magkaiba, yung kay Arnie Teves yan, tsaka ito kay PRRD, ibang-iba po.
Magkaiba po.
Talagang hindi sila.
Magkaiba
So,
po.
admitido po ninyo, walang red notice?
Yung red notice po, wala po siyang red notice.
Walang dumating,
merong tinatawag po na
O, tama.
red diffusion.
Kung ganun, sinasabi, tulad ng sinabi ni VP, maobligasyon ang ating pamahalaan mag-cooperate, tumulong sa lahat ng request. Yung request, hindi naman ang galing sa Interpol. Pinapaliwanag nga ng Interpol. Hindi naman amin wanted yan. Ang sinasabi, Philippines is obliged to cooperate when in fact it came from ICC. Paulit-ulit tayo kanina sa ICC, walang jurisdiction dito sa Pilipinas. Ba't natin kinikilala? FPRRD was not wanted by Interpol. It was neither verified or approved. Hanapin mo sa buong database ng Interpol, walang lumalabas. Hanggang ngayon, it's not there. Read out the email address from the letter. Nakita mo yung letter? ICC ang nakasulat. Walang Interpol kahit sa mismong diffusion. Anong obligasyon ng Pilipinas? Kapag hindi tayo nag-comply sa isang diffusion, anong mangyayari sa atin? Hindi na tayo bahagi ng Interpol? Paparusahan tayo? May parusa po ba?
Not necessarily. Hindi po ganon.
Kapag diffusion, what will happen?
Gaya po na nasabi ko kanina, ang diffusion po at requesting for looking for wanted persons, pareho lang po na yung red notice.
Hindi po pareho yun. Ang liwanag nito.
Ang pagkakaiba po niya.
Kababasa mo lang ng Article 97, pambihira ka naman, sir.
May pagkakaiba nga po
kaya
kasi
nga,
yung red notice has to be processed by the
pero di ba yung kay Congressman Arnie Teves, red notice na. Ayan, dinadaan pa rin sa proseso ng maliit at mahirap na bansa katulad ng Timor-Leste. Ayaw pa rin nila pumayag. Dahil ang sabi nila, dadaan muna ito sa korte natin. Ngayon tayo, lumundag tayo sa diffusion. Ano bang commitment natin? Anong mangyayari sa atin? Sinabi na natin, ICC has no jurisdiction. Tapos, ICC warrant has no effect. Tama ba yun? E di ano ngayon yung Interpol? May obligasyon ba tayo sa Interpol? Diffusion pa lang to.
Obligado po. Obligado.
Bakit obligado? Anong mangyayari kung di tayo sumunod?
Katulad din po yan ng mga ibang red notices na hindi natin nakukuha, but obligado rin po tayo.
Ano nga mangyayari? Anong parusa? Papaluin ba tayo? Tatanggalin ba tayo sa Interpol? Iisnabi na tayo ng buong kapulisan ng buong mundo?
Hindi ko po masasagot yung gagawin ng Interpol sa atin, but masasabi ko po we have to comply with both the diffusion and the red notice.
You have to.
We need to.
At
we
the
need
risk
to.
of what sanction?
We need to. We need to. Ayan po yung we
Okay.
exert our maximum effort to comply with those requests.
Nakakagulat lang po dahil kasi eto nga may obligasyon daw pero diffusion lang to at sabi ng Interpol first time daw nga nila na diffusion pa lang lumundag na at inaresto na kagad. Pero parang hindi naman to biglaan kasi General Marbil may memo kayo ng March 10, di po ba? May memo kayo sa kapulisan na mag-mobilize na agad-agad. Libo-libong pulis ang pinamobilize kahit hindi pa ninyo alam na may warrant. Sabi ninyo, hindi ninyo alam Asan yung memo? Nariyan kanina, di ba? Aalala po ba ninyo yung memo na yan?
But anyway, ma'am,
Hindi. Yung memo, tama po ba yan o mali yung binigay sa amin? 10 po ang nakasulat na date. Tama po ba yan?
ma'am, tama po yan, no? Madam Chair, no? Ang preparation namin, although sabi ko nga, narinig po namin na there will be possible na lumabas po yung warrant based on sa mga dumadating na news, it's standard procedure po ng PNP na mag-prepare po in case that's a part of our planning process.
Libo-libo ang minobilize na kapulisan, gumastos ang buong pamahalaan para lamang sa isang chismis galing sa Hong Kong. Sabi po ni Secretary John Vic, na chismis lang naman ang umabot sa kanila. Hindi naman sila nakatanggap ng anumang katibayan
Ma'am, it's a standard, Madam Chair, it's a standard procedure ng Philippine National Police kay chismis. So hindi, we have to prepare and plan kung ano pong mangyayari eventualities po.
7,000 po? Base sa chismis? Wala kayong alam?
No, we don't have any record ng 7,000. I believe
Yun ang
ito,
pinagmalaki sa dyaryo. Hanggang dyaryo lang naman kami.
Ma'am, wala po kami nilalabas ng ganong karaming tao. I guess it's more of pinapilaki. But I doubt with this number, ito lang po yung nilabas po namin tao.
Okay. So, ilan ang minobilize ninyo kung sinasabi niyo labis-labis naman ang 7,000? Sa tingin ko, labis-labis. Isipin mo, chismis lang.
Ma'am, based on the numbers, more or less it's a total of 156. Yun lang po yung ano namin. But sabi ko nga doon, it's just a normal procedure.
May mga memo pa na sumunod dyan. Alam naman ninyo yun. Ito lang yung pinakauna.
Madam Chair, I have to check po yung numbers ng tao natin.
Bakit sinabi 7,000? Nagulat naman kami. Okay lang, pero mabalik dito sa ICC warrant, walang red notice at pati yung Timor-Leste, inisnab yung red notice, ang atin lang diffusion. Sa diffusion, ang liwaliwanag, kailangan extradition, kailangan in conformity with national laws. I think we've established that and without pounding it into the ground, can we ask now, ipakita muna natin ang video ni Secretary Remulla or yung transcript dun sa budget hearing po nung nakaraang taon. Ang liwaliwanag po at maganda po ang paliwanag ni Secretary Remulla Boying. Opo.
But when it comes to them going into the country, kung gusto nila pumasok dito upang manghuhuli at magpasagawa ng warrant na kanila pong na-issue po siguro ng ICC pagdating ng panahon, kailangan ho itong dumaan sa ating court system. Ito po ay kinakailangan ng isang action to enforce a warrant, action to enforce a judgment. Kailangan po dumaan yan sa ating court system. Kaya hindi ho namin pakikialaman kasi yan po trabaho na ng Interpol kung talagang gusto nilang habulin yung tao na nasasaktal. Yung sabihin natin, nag-issue po na warrant of arrest ng ICC, gusto mong enforce ng Interpol dito, pero para ho ito ay matuloy at hindi ho magkaroon ng kasuhan, kinakailangan pumunta muna sila sa korte natin. There are some things that the Supreme Court would be looking at if what was alleged in the crime would have happened if we were still members of the ICC. That is one of the things that can be of importance to the courts when they do enforce a warrant, or if they will actually allow a warrant to be served in our country from an international tribunal. Ang problema nga ho ay meron kong sinasabi yung mga kaibigan natin na well-meaning naman. May 200 families daw na gustong magreklamo pero ang hawak daw nila 8. Pero sa 8, ang makakausap nyo 2 lang. Tapos yung 2 pa, wala pang ibibigay na totoong ebidensya. Napakahirap po talaga maghabol. Ang yung nag-hearing po ang Human Rights Committee ng Kongreso tungkol dito. At ang lumalabas po talaga, yung mga nangyari po kasing EJK nung panahon na yon, ay wala hong police report eh. Walang police blotter, wala hong record. Kaya napakahirap po maghabol talaga.
Ayun. Napakaliwanag at napakaganda ng paliwanag ni Secretary Boying na sa ICC man yan, Interpol man yan, dadaan yan sa Korteng Pilipino.
Ma'am, ano yan eh? Ang general rule talaga, pag may foreign judgment, you have to enforce it in court. However, ito hong nangyaring ito, ang ginamit po namin dito, Section 17 ng Republic Act.
9851.
9851. Pwede ko hong basahin, ma'am? Can I read the provision into the record?
Put it on,
into the record. But may I read it into the record, ma'am? Thank you. In the interest of justice, in the interest of justice, the relevant Philippine authorities may dispense with the investigation or prosecution of a crime punishable under this act if another court or international tribunal is already conducting the investigation or undertaking the prosecution of such crime. Instead, the authorities may surrender or extradite suspected or accused persons in the Philippines to the appropriate international court, if any, or to another state pursuant to the applicable extradition laws and treaties. That is Section 17 of Republic Act 9851. So
Yes.
ito pa yung option na sinasabi ko kanina.
Yes, at yan yung pinag-uusapan natin kay Attorney Medina. Baka ibig ninyo mag-comment kasi mahaba po yung sinulat ninyo tungkol dyan. 9851, Section 17, at saka si Senator Cayetano. Unahin po natin na unang ma-recognize si Attorney Medina lang po. Lahat tayo, kabisado natin yung 9851, alam natin yung Section 17, para rin yung Rome Statute, Article 59, sa panahong to na memorize na nating lahat. Attorney po.
Thank you for the opportunity, Madam Chair. And with all due respect to our hardworking, brilliant Secretary of Justice, I beg to disagree purely on legal grounds. Again, constitutional, doctrine of constitutional supremacy. Whatever right that is granted by the Constitution cannot be diminished or be in derogation, cannot be diminished or lessened or stripped away by any statute. So if the Constitution guarantees that if a person is to be expelled from the Philippine territory by whatever means, a lawful order of the court is required. That grant that grant of the Constitution, that protection of the Constitution, cannot be lessened by any statute. So that in that case, 9851. So we have to interpret 9851 in accordance with the broad protection of the Constitution, which means that if you will surrender without judicial proceedings, that would be a violation. So there will be only a very narrow instance, there will be limited instances when surrender can be valid without judicial process. Yun lang po. Maraming salamat.
Senator Cayetano, I think you wish to add something.
When the SOJ was speaking, Yung una kong temptation was to say that, as you said, no, evolution, legal theory, and for the public, no, to be fair, di ba? That happens when lawyers meet, di ba? Na ito yung una kong theory, ito yung application, especially if there's no jurisprudence na prevailing. And even if there's jurisprudence, you can challenge that, of course, but the law enforcers have to follow prevailing jurisprudence. So kanina, what I was tempted to do is to ask you that, you know, when tempers are down and emotions are way, let's see which theory is better. No, whether you need a foreign, when a foreign judgment or foreign arrest warrant from a foreign court or different countries here, whether we need court order or pwedeng surrender. Having said that, when I was thinking about it, what about, sir, this situation? So let's say that law authorizes the government to surrender a Philippine citizen. But if that Philippine citizen is asking for his day in court in a Philippine court. Kasi kung, again, hindi ko nakita yung buong video, but nakita ko yung part. I think this is more from the videos na pinost allegedly taken by Kitty Duterte, di ba? But I just saw portions. So isang portion doon, nung una sinabi kay former President Duterte na sa Hague ka dadalhin, sabi niya, patayin nyo na lang ako or you'll have to kill me. I'm paraphrasing. No, but ang point ko, if a person says that, that means he's disputing it. So my point, assuming for the sake of argument, as the state, the Philippine government, can choose Article 17 to surrender, does that take away from the person being arrested the legal remedy of questioning the action of the executive before Philippine courts?
The option is always there if it can be done. But under the circumstances, it could not be done.
So no effort was made to get any warrant from a Filipino court?
I think
Instead,
that they were, the whole time that everything was happening until the evening, there were even attempts to show fake orders of the courts saying that there is a TRO on the action of the PNP.
Yes,
I believe
fake
that
news.
this was being showed by E.S. Mejaldea. Am I correct, General Torre? Yes. E.S. Mejaldea was showing them text messages that there was a TRO. So they were attempting, they were trying their judicial option. But we already decided, it was already decided that
I think that's not
that Section
relevant,
17
Secretary.
of Republic Act 9851 will be the one used, the surrender part.
May I clarify them? Just that part,
Yes,
no?
Senator Cayetano.
So we agree, di ba, na yun, ICC or whoever may, or extradition, or basta under that law, no? Dumating dito, in-arrest, sabi nung Pilipinong inaresto, okay, no problem, I'll face court there, dalhin niyo ako doon. So, walang problema yung surrender, di ba? Kasi he or she surrendered to government, government surrendered under the definition ng surrender under that law, Section 17. But sabi mo, what was your exact word, sir? If possible or if, ang sabi mo, nung tinanong ko SOJ na, can that person have the opportunity to question before a Philippine court?
If it's done, it can be done.
Yes.
Some people have been managed to get court orders in a matter
Yes.
of hours.
But
only in this case, wala akong nangyari.
Yes, but yun nga ang point ko. Isn't the better rule, we give them reasonable time to do that? So that we don't deprive...
Ma'am, excuse me lang kasi there is a pending petition for habeas corpus in the Supreme Court.
Okay.
We might be stepping already on the,
so having said
the ground that, we have to
So we leave
take
it at
next week.
that. We have no desire to be sub judice. Thank you.
Madam
For
Chair,
the
can I
reminder.
just say this? Sir, I will respect that because nga mabigat di ba? Emotionally, legally. But can you study that part? Just for future cases, di ba?
Of course.
And when we say study, the defense lawyer will say 30 days, 6 months is reasonable. Of course, the law enforcement has to do its job. So in case we come up with a guidance, you could return it to us, but hindi kami magpasa ng batas. But I'd answer the same na sinabi mo ngayon. If I file a draft bill defining that, baka sabihin ng court, oh, see, you admit na pwede pala. So I also don't want to somehow interfere or influence the Supreme Court in this decision. But may I just put it at your table na ano yung reasonable for a Filipino citizen to go to court in case nga this happens. And it's valid nga kasi nga if the ICC issues whether it's Senator Bato or any of our generals or any member of the AFP, I'd like them to be able to go to court to question whatever identity, validity of etc.
Maybe, Your Honor, we have to look at the perspective of how long this took for the ICC to come up with a warrant. This did not happen overnight. I believe that even Senator Bato has told you that he has received written interrogatories coming from the ICC. He's being given his day to explain whatever side he has on the ICC controversy.
Kaya
Senator Bato himself has answered that. I'm sure the former president was given the chance by the ICC. I mean, I don't think that 125 countries would agree to bully somebody and not give him a chance to explain. I think
Chair.
that it goes beyond convention that we will allow this to happen.
Yes, Secretary
Chair.
and Senator Cayetano.
I think I'd like to agree to disagree with you on that part. No, kasi yung questions ko later on are factual. Kasi if you look, I don't know if it was the Solgen, we asked the ICC to pause, to stop. Diba? And number two, iba kasi yung sa akin na mag-explain ka sa Philippine court at mag-explain ka doon. And lastly, sir, I get your point, 125 countries. But President Trump, the US President just said na panay politika ang ICC, sinanction niya and everything. So I can also make the same agreement. US is the greatest country in the world, next to the Philippines, of course. The US is the land of the free. The US ganyan. So if the US thinks the ICC, so I'm respecting your opinion na fair ang ICC 25 etc. No. However, yun nga ang point ko. The president is almost 80 years old. If the case take out jurisdiction, if the case takes about 6 years, he'll be 86. If it takes 8 years, 88. Kung si Enrile yon, okay lang. When he gets there at 80, he'll be out at 88. He's 101 years old. I'm not saying okay lang ipadala si Enrile. I'm saying he's blessed with longevity and di ba sa LEDAC naglalabi pa, nagano ko anong tingin niyan tama. But my point is, sir, yung ako personally naghahalo na yung legal at emotion pag sinabing nandun na siya, dun siya magpaliwanag. Kasi nga Pilipino na pinadala doon. But I'll agree to disagree with you there and stop there, Madam.
Maraming salamat at nais ko lang balikan itong sinasabi natin. Kung talagang nagpursige ang Pilipinas na pumunta sa korte dito sa lokal, sa Philippine Court, may idadagdag yata si VP dyan sa komentaryo tungkol dito kung bakit hindi pinadaan pa sa Filipino Court. Samantalang marami naman tayong korte, ang ating mga huwes ay magagaling. Yes, please, VP po.
Yes, thank you, Senator Marcos. Ang gusto ko lang gawin is, unang-una, meron kasing document galing sa ating Pangulo papunta sa akin na sulat, no, na lumabas dahil kinuha siya sa isang lawyers group chat. Hindi namin alam kung sino ang kumuha at inilabas siya. Gusto ko lang na isubmit ito as part of the records of this hearing kasi as a Filipino and as a public official, binasa ko yung ang ating protesta doon sa ICC at yung desisyon ng ICC. At nakita ko na wala talagang jurisdiction. Pero alam ko na merong ginagawang investigation dahil nabibigyan kami ng data or information galing sa mga law offices na ginagamit dyan sa loob ng Pilipinas sa pag-interview ng witnesses. Kaya kinausap ko, unang-una, ang Secretary of Justice noon. At dahil hindi paiba-iba yung sagot niya sa mga tanong ko, ang ginawa ko ay dumiretso ako sa Pangulo. Kaya yon, nabigyan ako ng sagot ng Pangulo at gusto kong basahin ang kabuuan ng sulat. Nakalagay dito, Dear Vice President Duterte, this is reference to your letter of 4 December 2023 as well as similar letters sent to members of the Cabinet, namely Secretary Jesus Crispin C. Remulla of the Department of Justice and Solicitor General Menardo Guevara on even date. With respect to your concerns, legal or otherwise, on the investigation to be conducted by the ICC into the previous administration's war on drugs, I remain steadfast in my resolve that the jurisdiction of the ICC over the Philippines after the effectivity of its withdrawal therefrom is very much in question. To this end, this government will not assist the ICC in any way, shape, or form. I am certain that all the members of my cabinet, including yourself, will echo my views on this matter. As it is my sworn duty, I will continue to defend and assert the sovereignty of the Republic of the Philippines at all times. Ngayon, naririnig ko po, sinasabi ng ating Secretary of Justice na mabibigyan siya ng panahon na makasagot sa loob ng ICC. And that is clearly the Philippine government's position that there is cooperation with ICC. So kinikilala na nila ngayon yung jurisdiction ng ICC na wala naman kasi talaga. Because this is an extraordinary case of extraordinary rendition. At pangalawa, Senator Amy, gusto ko na sumagot ang Armed Forces of the Philippines kung bakit nila pinayagan na mangyari ito. Because under the law, the Presidential Security Command is in charge of the security of former presidents. So bakit nila hinayaan na mangyari ito sa isang dating Pangulo ng ating bayan? And finally, I request that I leave the meeting, the hearing, because I have to prepare for meetings as well here this morning at 9 a.m. Thank you very much, our honorable senators, mga kababayan.
Maraming salamat, VP. Maitatanong lang, kailan yung date nung sinasabi mong sulat mula sa Pangulo natin?
Ang date ng kanyang sulat ay December 15, 2023.
2023. Iba pang sulat pala ito. At maraming salamat at hihingin natin ang sagot ng ating AFP tungkol sa PSG at yung okasyon sa Villamor. Maraming salamat, VP. Kung may mga iba pang mga hearing, sana makadalo ka rin. Thank you.
Opo, salamat.
Okay, I think that's posited to Secretary Teodoro. Nawala
Yes,
na yata si General Larida.
No, ma'am. I will answer all the questions regarding the Armed Forces of the Philippines. As we said, we were deputized to support the Philippine National Police. And it is part of the constitutional duty of the armed forces to follow processes. And if we were to question those orders, even under color of law, under color of right, then it would amount to the armed forces acting unilaterally on its own, which is anathema to civilian authority over the military. As we said, our jurisdiction ends in providing support to the Philippine National Police. And with respect to the Presidential Security Command, that is a highly secure unit, and operational security is strictly followed. That ends my response, Your Honor.
Yes, nakakapagtaka lang kasi facility ninyo yung Villamor. Ang inimbita namin yung Air Force. Wala po rito. Bakit?
Your Honor, because of the fact that we will not go into operational details, and I made the call that the armed forces will answer in the light of our supporting role and not principal role to the Philippine National Police.
Yes, pero narito si General Larida. Anong nais niyo yung sabihin?
Madam Chair, I defer to the wisdom of the Honorable Secretary of National Defense. That is, the AFP's role is to support the Philippine National Police. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Kahit sa Villamor mismo. Kahit sa lugar ninyo mismo, kampo ninyo eh.
Yes, sir. Yes, Madam Chair.
Ganun. O sige, ganun lang sagot. So, okay. Balikan po natin itong enforceability ng ICC warrant. Sa pakiwari ba ninyo yung nasa Constitution natin, yung sinasaad ulit-ulit ng ating Professor Medina, Article 3, Section 2, na kinakailangan may arrest warrant issued upon discovery of probable cause by a judge, a Filipino judge. Sa palagay ba ninyo, yung judge dito kasama na yung ICC judge?
Ma'am, we invoke the sub judice rule, ma'am. We cannot answer any more questions relating to the arrest.
So sa palagay ninyo, yung ICC, does it have any judicial power in the Philippines? Kasi di ba yung judicial power sa atin, ang klaro-klaro naman, Article 8, ang liwanag, di ba? Supreme Court and such lower courts, di ba?
Recognized by the Republic Act 9851.
Anong recognized ng 9851? Wala naman sinabi doon tungkol sa judicial.
International Tribunal.
Sorry?
International Tribunal, ma'am. Can I read the provision again into the record?
No, we've read it and
Yes.
we're all very, very familiar.
Yes.
Opo. So, ang sinasabi nyo, ICC hindi po kasama. Yun lang, yes or no lang po.
Basta sinabi yung International Tribunal, it belongs to that class, ma'am.
Sa palagay ninyo, International Tribunal, sakop na yung ICC. Kahit
Sakop po, sakop. Ito, malinaw po eh.
Pero
Oh.
hindi na tayo member, di ba? Sabi ng DFA.
Hindi ho naman yung membership ang pinag-uusapan dito eh. Ang pinag-uusapan po dito, crimes against humanity. International humanitarian law.
Pero nagkasundo na tayo.
Murder po ito, murder, executions, extrajudicial killings. Ito po yung sinasakop ng IHL mo.
Sige. Balik tayo sa Prosecutor General kasi agree to disagree na naman tayo. Even if Secretary Remulla in his budget hearing asserted that a local court action was necessary in order to enforce an ICC warrant, you proceeded to take part in the serving of the warrant and arresting PRRD. Andito ba yung prosecutor natin?
Ma'am, he had to attend to something very important in the office. That's why I was the one who
So you
volunteered to go
confirm
there.
that even though there was no local court action, you went ahead with this anyway?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, of course you can.
Confirm. But ma'am, can we lessen our discussion on this because it's sub judice, ma'am. It's a subject of a habeas corpus case in the Supreme Court, which the children of the former President Duterte themselves filed.
Yes, we're well aware of the consolidated cases. Was this warrant presented to PRRD at the time he was arrested? Kasi may katanungan, di ba? At may sinasabi si Attorney Medialdea na hindi daw pinakita sa Pangulo. Pwede bang may sumagot? Si General Torre, mukhang kabisado niya. Siya yung nasa video eh.
Again, ma'am?
Hindi. Yung warrant nung natanggap ninyo yung warrant, naipakita ba yung ICC warrant sa Pangulo? Kay Pangulo Duterte, pinakita ba ninyo sa kanya? Nung inaresto siya, di ba, obligado kayo magpakita ng warrant.
Yes, ma'am.
Anong pinakita nyo?
Right at the tube, ma'am, the Yusik Nikiti, together with PG Fadulyon, together with me, gave them the electronic copy through retired General Munti Agudo, ma'am, because that's their condition. They don't recognize the diffusion order. They really want to have a copy of the warrant. That's why soft copy was given to them on the tube. And a hard copy was printed and later on received by Attorney Delgra in the 250th wing, sir. 250th wing, ma'am.
May pagkakataon ba si former president na basahin to? Kasi ang pagkaintindi, hindi. Tingnan natin muna yung video kasi mas maliwanag doon.
Pag umaresto ka ng tao, pag inaresto ka ng pulis, pwedeng hindi dala ng pulis ang warrant mo? Pwede. Sasabihin lang ng pulis kayo, oy, arestado ka, may warrant ka. Nasaan ang warrant? Doon sa istasyon, halika na. That's perfectly legal. Pag umaresto ka ng tao, pag inaresto ka ng pulis, pwedeng hindi dala ng pulis.
So ang sabi po ninyo, hindi naman kailangan yung warrant kaya hindi ninyo pinakita. Tama po ba yun?
Ma'am, that is a very, very different interview in the aftermath. But I'm talking of...
Anong pinag-uusapan sa interview?
And I'm talking about we have already veered on the general rules on the warrantless, on the service of the warrants. Because during the time, and up to this time, there are still a lot of people saying that I'm wrong in there, that you cannot arrest a person with a warrant that you know as a person has a warrant, yet you cannot serve it without the physical warrant. So, all the lawyers know here that I'm right there.
Kailangan ng warrant as soon as practicable. At hinihingi talaga ni former president. Di ba hinihingi niya? Hinihingi ng abogado niya, asan yung warrant? Tama, di ba hinihingi
Yes,
nila?
ma'am.
Anong pinakita nyo?
We gave them the electronic copy of the warrant and it was given to them by Yusek Nikiti together with PG Fadulion. It was received by
Yung
General
warrant, anong klase yung
Monteagudo.
itsura ng warrant? ICC, Interpol?
It's an ICC warrant, ma'am.
ICC warrant.
Yes, ma'am. That was directed to the Interpol. That was the attachment of the diffusion order.
Pero ayon sa ating batas, di ba, napakaliwanag naman na yung court o judge, kinakailangan Pilipino. Di naman sakop noon yung Interpol, yung ICC. Bakit naging warrant rin sa Pilipinas yun?
I will defer the answering to that question to the DOJ, ma'am, because I was with the DOJ during the time, and it was the DOJ...
Hindi nandun si Prosecutor Fadulion Ikaw naman
Yes, ma'am.
bumasa ng Miranda rights, hindi man lang yung prosecutor. Tinikoberan mo na yung papel ng DOJ, kaya sumagot ka ngayon.
Ma'am, we're talking situation in the tube.
Hindi, sinabi mo kasi, ang liwaliwanag, sinabi mo, hindi naman kailangan ng warrant
It's a different matter, ma'am. Altogether different matter.
Bakit? Ilang warrant ba yan?
One warrant, but different. That question on the interview is a different situation, ma'am.
So, kailan mo pinakita yung warrant? Yung sinasabi mo electronic copy?
The first time, ma'am, it is not
At kanino?
me. It was not me who showed the warrant. It was Yusek Nikiti together with PG Fadulion, together with me, there in the tube of the plane. The former president is still there inside the plane. It was given to retired General Monteagudo, who is with the party. And because during the time, E.S. Mijaldea and the wife and Attorney Delgra had already went back inside the plane and told us, hindi kami lalabas kung wala kayong maipakitang warrant.
Kaya nga, so, when was the accused finally shown the warrant of arrest? Di ba dapat as soon as practicable ang sinasabi? Kailan mo pinakita mismo kay former president?
I believe, ma'am, the electronic copy is already acceptable now in the rules of court.
Yun na nga, pero pinakita mo ba kay Presidente Duterte?
It was not me who they invited inside the plane. It was the PCTC through General Alcantara, whom they invited inside the plane, showing to them and explaining to them the warrant.
Ganun ba? napaliwanag ba ninyo, Executive Director Alcantara? Kasi parang ang bilis-bilis lang naman ninyo dun sa eroplano. Ang nakita naming final warrant, 15 pages po. Ganun lang kabilis na nabasa
Tama po yung
agad?
15 pages po, pero i-present po namin kay President Duterte na nasa 250.
Nabasa niya lahat, 15 pages? Ang bilis-bilis lang lumabas eh.
Hindi po niya nabasa yan.
Hindi niya nabasa?
Hindi niya.
So, bakit
Doon po namin present sa kanya.
kaya nga, pero ba't hindi niyo pinagbigyan na basahin? Kasi karapatan talaga ng akusado at ng arestado yan, di ba?
At that point in time, ang may kopya po ng warrant ay si General Alex Monteagudo. Nagbabapiring po sa telepono niya. Matagal pong mabuo dahil
Siyempre nasa airport. Tapos nasa loob ng aeroplano. Madaling sabi.
Kaya nga po nag-print kami ng hard copy. So pagdating po sa 250, doon na binigay sa kanila yung warrant.
Madam Chair, just on the warrant.
Yes, Senator Cayetano, please go ahead.
Just one insight on the warrant, and just to bolster my point kanina na bakit mas maganda na, or bakit essential for me my local court, no? If you look at paragraph 12, before you look at it, can anyone in the room here tell me, I know the former president was accused of extrajudicial killing, of crimes against humanity. Pag sinabi yung torture, pwede kasing bago mo patayin, di ba? Pwedeng emotional torture, pwede mong gulpihin torture. So, included na yan. But does anyone here, can anyone tell me here that during his 6 years and before that, he was accused of ordering or himself raping people? Di ba? I do remember malaking issue about his statements about a missionary who was raped. And inexplain niya yon na frustrated, galit siya. But is anyone here accusing the former president of raping or ordering the rape? Parang wala naman, di ba? Okay. If you look at, dahil walang, just for the record, Madam Chair, dahil wala naman nagtaas ng kamay or nagsabi, paragraph 12, the chamber notes that the prosecution alleges, let me say it again, the chamber notes that the prosecution alleges that some acts amounting to crimes against humanity of torture and rape under Article 7, subparagraphs 1 ba yan, F, 71, G of the statute were committed as a widespread and systematic attack against the civilian population. Ulitin ko the chamber notes that the prosecution alleges. So the prosecution in the ICC alleges that some acts amounting to crimes against humanity of torture and rape were committed as part of a widespread and systematic attack. For me, it's the first time I read that someone was accusing the president, the former government. But if you look at the last page of the warrant, or second to the last page, page 14, no? Issues a warrant of arrest. So, for these reasons, the chamber hereby issues a warrant of arrest for Rodrigo Roa Duterte, born on 28 March 1945, for his alleged criminal responsibility pursuant to Article 25, Paragraph 3, Paragraph A of Statute for the Crime Against Humanity of Murder, pursuant to Article 7(1)A, wala yung G na rape, committed in the Republic of Philippines during the relevant period as set forth in this warrant of arrest. So I just want to make this point, Madam Chair. So kung sa akin nangyari to, pupunta ako sa Philippine Court at sasabihin ko sa Philippine Court, sir, makita mo naman, sa Marites at Chismis kinuha ng prosecutor ng ICC. Padadala mo ako doon, pinakamaikse, 4 to 6 years yung hearing, deprived of liberty. Yung prosecutor mismo nag-allege ng rape. The harshest critics of President Duterte accuse him of being insensitive to women, saying misogynist, masama yung etc. And I won't defend him there. It's on the record, di ba? And also accused him of being insensitive to a foreign national who was a missionary here who was raped. But I haven't heard na inaccuse siya ng rape or ordering rape. Ang alam ko nga, galit na galit siya pag ministreat yung mga kababaihan. So, dun pa lang, questioning ko to before a Philippine judge. Kasi, kawawa naman ako pag nandun. So that's my point. So, the second point I just want to make kay SOJ is, I personally will respect its sub judice because this case in the Supreme Court is so important. But just for the record, nag-rule na rin, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, nag-rule din ang Supreme Court dyan na we cannot stop the hearing or we can continue kahit na sub judice. But he's not asking naman to stop the hearing. He's just saying, can we be sensitive to that? Because they're going to have to put their position on paper and present it before the Supreme Court. So, mamaya, Madam Chair, more factual na lang yung mga tanong ko rather than issues para yung facts naman, SOJ is not naman under dispute, di ba? And will help us pa nga sa doon. But this is just an example. And I just read this morning, pero nagulat lang ako doon na yung prosecutor pala may ganun allegation, no? Oo.
Kaya nga nagkagulantaan. Palibasa, nakita natin yung warrant much later. Did any one of you, General Marbil, General Torre, meron ba kayong hawak na ICC warrant of arrest at the time of his arrest? Parang electronic copy lang, tapos pinakopya muna, tapos binigay na pagdating doon. Bakit ganun? Samantalang March 10 pa lang nagmo-mobilize na ng libu-libong pulis. Pagkatapos alam na natin na magkakaganito dahil nabalitaan na nga sa Hong Kong. Kung ganun, bakit walang warrant doon sa mismong pag-aresto? Electronic copy lamang at nagpa-imprenta pa. Ba't nagkaganon?
May I differ on the wisdom of the SOJ to explain on the legality of the electronic copy of the warrant, ma'am?
Hindi naman tinatanong yung legality. Okay lang yun. Ang tinatanong ko, bakit parang unprepared kayo samantalang prepared na si General Marbil?
Madam Chair, I just want to make clear na ang trabaho po ng police is really to assist po yung PCTC natin. Yun po yung and what we have is tama po yung sinasabing order ng diffusion. So ito po yung nangyari. We rely po dun sa PCTC, dun sa lahat ng mga documents that they need na gagamitin po dun sa effect ng arrest. Ito po yung ginawa po ng again, uulitin ko.
Dapat yung PCTC nagdala ng warrant. Ba't nga ba kayo walang warrant?
It was stated, ipapadala po through diplomatic channels Naka-state po yun
So, dapat diplomatic channel. Nangyari ba yun? Kung diplomatic channel yung DFA, ano ba nangyari sa warrant na yan? Sa dinami-dami ng handa ninyo, sa libo-libong pulis at sundalo na kinalampag, wala bang nag-isip na kinakailangan dalhin yung warrant?
Your Honor, if I may, wala po kaming information o wala kaming natanggap at all.
Kayo naman sa PCTC, wala rin kayong natanggap?
We requested for a copy of the warrant and we got it the next day.
The next day being?
The warrant that came from the
Kaya nga, what
the
day
system.
na?
The next day is 12 po.
So, hindi rin ninyo na ipakita kay Presidente Duterte? Bale tama si General Torre na warrantless arresto.
Pinakita po namin yung hard copy sa 250 pero sa lawyers po natin pinigay.
Madam Chair, can I clarify?
Kasi ang sinasabi din na redacted copy lang ang binigay, hindi rin kompleto, kaya hindi nila mabuo. At yun nga, nagkagulatan bakit meron pa.
Can I clarify that, sir?